Well, good morning and hello to those of you who are getting ready to boost your Monday. I know that you're a dynamic person. I know that you want to make great changes in the world, make great leaps and bounds, and I know that you want something different for your life. So if that's you and you're watching this right now, whether it's live or whether it's on the recording, thank you very, very much for joining me. So my name's Jenny Kovacs and I am a coach. I help people from executives to people who are run their own business, to people who have a job and they just really want to almost set the world on fire with what they do. So let me just adjust this camera. Hopefully you can see me okay. Bear with me. I just realised I was slightly out of shot there. So today I want to share something with you that I've been doing myself, and to be fair, I've done for a couple of years on and off, but in the last couple of weeks I've taken this thing up to another level. So if you are really interested in personal development in any way, shape or form, or if you are looking to make your life different or on some level for you better than it was before, then I think you're really going to enjoy this very, very powerful exercise. So let me tell you kind of how this came about. So as a coach myself, I think it's really important to learn and grow. I learn and grow not just by consuming the information that's out there, but by doing quite a bit of self-reflection as well. So one of the habits that I have is that I keep a journal, and that's not something too unusual in my circle of friends and my field and my sector, if you like. And a few weeks ago, when doing a kind of a challenge, a 5-day challenge, the person who was running the challenge asked us to have a declutter. So I went through this experiment and this experience, and I wrote a journal so that I could record what was going on as I was going through the exercise. And it had some very powerful impacts, I guess, on the way I thought about things, the way I lived my life, on a physical level, on an emotional level, and on many other levels too. It was so juicy and so good. As I journaled, I was able to capture insights that I was getting, not only on that particular day, but as I was going through the 5 days. So I thought, once I kind of like percolated it, if you like, in my head, written it down, read back some of the things in the journal, I thought this was something really important to share. So, if you're watching this, as I say, whether live or on the recording, and you haven't yet joined the fast-growing community on Facebook, the Visibility Vibes Tribe, then do feel free to search in the Facebook box after this for the Visibility Vibes Tribe and ask to join, and I will let you in there. So what was this powerful thing that I did? Now, it was decluttering. Now, one of the things that people often say is, oh yes, I declutter all the time. But I want to share with you a really powerful exercise that I hope you take into your week. Don't even think about it too much. Take into your week, start it today, and just run it, even if you would like to run it from Monday through to Friday, or if you want to go for a full 7-day week, that's fine too. So starting today, I thought it would be really great to share some of the insights that I got when I did this, and some really practical ways that you can use this powerful tool too. So why did I do it in the first place, and why should you even bother to try this in the first place? So the reason that I was doing this was, as I say, I'm very much into personal development and self-reflection too. And one of the things that I wanted to do is I wanted to, as I go forward in my career and as I go forward in my life, I made a promise to myself that I would do things differently. I made this decision that I would do things differently in my life. And when this opportunity came up, rather than stop and say, oh, I've decluttered before, why should I do it again? I thought, no, I'm going to take this challenge on with new eyes. It can't be that difficult. So I looked at everything in my environment and looked at basically what I needed, what I loved, and what I didn't need and what I didn't love, and started the process from there. So if you too would like to join in and declutter, so I just put my thumb over the camera there. If you too would like to join this process and declutter, here's some really practical ways that you can do that. And if you're watching, please do put a comment on the box to say that you're, just to say hi, and let me know where you're watching from. If you don't want to do that, that's fine too. So I'm going to give you, I'm going to try to give you five practical ways. So I'm doing this all from memory. I don't script these. I plan them, but I don't script them because I want to be able to speak to you as if you're standing right in front of me, and I hope you get that feel. So one of the things that I would invite you to do first off, if you can, is if you have a notebook or a journal, or even a few scraps of A4 paper, take them out of the printer. You know, take a couple of pages of A4 paper and fold it in half, and just, you know, write the days of the week on each side so that you can chart your progress. You don't have to write reams and reams of stuff, just a couple of insights or things that you noticed about yourself or about this experiment. So normally when we think of decluttering, we think of tidying up and spring cleaning and throwing a couple of things out. But because I knew that I wanted to do things differently, this is the hat that I wore, if you like, when I did the decluttering. And again, if you haven't joined the Visibility Vibes tribe, go over in the group, Hearts to Join, because I actually wrote quite a long post on the effects that it had and the results that it had for me personally. So I looked at this, and the hat that I wore was, in terms to be more of the person that I want to be, who do I have to be? What kind of habits do I need to take forward? What kind of environment do I want to be in? What kind of environment do I want to live in? And from that space, I decluttered. So here are 5 ideas that you can take at least from Monday to Friday to get you started. So with this in mind, and thinking of the person that I want to become more of, because I believe that I have some of that in me already, and so do you. Becoming more of the person that I want to become, given the lifestyle that I want to have, the people around me that I want to have, the environments and the experiences, I decided as I looked around, even as I looked around just my bedroom for a start, that I had a lot of stuff. So here's some practical ways to just declutter and make a difference. So good morning, Ian. Hi, really great to see you. I haven't spoken to you for a long time and I've missed you, and I've just dropped something, but that's okay in my excitement. So good morning. Ian's watching from the UK, so thanks for watching. So here's where I started. The first thing I remember doing was thinking, oh my gosh, I've got so much stuff, and I felt overwhelmed. So if this is you, stop. So one really great and practical way to start is to go to your bathroom. So go into your bathroom, and if you've got a bathroom cabinet, bathroom drawers, a little basket, anything like that that you keep your stuff in, just look through that and notice whether you've got any toiletries that were given as gifts, you know, any old toothpastes, moisturisers or anything. You know, you might even find random old razors or anything that you don't need anymore. Just look through, and here's the kind of like hat to wear as you go through in terms of becoming more of the person that you want to be. But here's a practical way to do this. So have a look and ask yourself one thing. Do I need this thing? So if it's like your toothbrush and your soap and things like that, of course you're going to need it. Ask yourself whether you need this thing. Look and see whether you've got anything in there that you're keeping that's broken. A practical example, I noticed in my bathroom cabinet I had a kind of a bottle of moisturiser oil, and the pump had broken, so I couldn't use it properly. Every time I went to use it, I had to unscrew the lid, pour it in my hands, and, you know, kind of rub the oil on in my skin, which wasn't the way it was meant to be used. It wasn't practical, was really messy, would leak down the bottle, would cause a mess. So I decided, you know, I can't fix this, you know, it's not working. And I thought back, and I'd had this bottle of moisturising oil for like over 18 months. And every now and then, if I got desperate, I would struggle and let it leak. And I just thought, no, I'm going to let that go. Because, and here's the hat that I wore with this, you know, every time I picked it up, it gave me a really low vibe, if that makes any sense. You know, it was broken, it didn't work properly, it was a hassle, I might be hurrying to get ready, it slowed me down and it didn't make me feel good. So I literally poured the contents away and recycled the bottle and threw it away. Then I looked at things like, are there any old toiletries? Maybe they were gifts, or maybe they were things that you've picked up. I've travelled a lot, certainly in the last few years, and I had this habit of, if I was on the go travelling, I would have like half empty bottles of things that I'd use, practical travel things that I would use for just in case or next time I went travelling. And I hadn't used them for a couple of years. So if I hadn't used them for a couple of years, it's not likely that I'm going to use them now. So I decided with those, because they were half used, to throw them away. Now, if there's something that hasn't been used, you might decide that you are going to give it away to somebody. So you can give it to someone you know, pass it forward as a gift. My favourite trick is, there's a bus stop in London not too far from where I live. I like to leave things there with a little note saying, please take me, I'm yours. I never get to see who gets that, but it could be somebody that wants or needs it. So you can give it away to a charity shop, it's your choice, but get rid of it. And if you're going to do this, you could have a pile of things you're going to throw, things you're going to give away, and another pile if you feel you need one. But I went for a pile of things I wanted to throw, things I wanted to give away. Oh, my next pile of things that I could recycle. So put it away, throw it away. Clean the drawers out, clean the cupboards out, just make it a nice fresh space. And you'll notice that when you go to open that space in the bathroom, it makes you feel quite joyful, quite lifted. So that was one place that I started. So I invite you to try this yourself, to start it yourself. So that was the bathroom. Then the next thing that I invite you to do is, and this is especially for women, when's the last time you looked in your handbag? So I actually got my handbag and I tipped it upside down on a space in the floor. I had tissues, I had, when you go out and about, you might buy something to eat. I had like forks, like you get in the top brands of supermarkets, knives, forks, spoons in the plastic wrapper. I had, makeup in there, had loose change. I had half-used packets of chewing gum. So just tip everything out. If you've got a bag that you use regularly, it might be a laptop bag or something like that. Tip everything out, see what falls out. Did you have paper clips in there? Do you have things that you actually need? And ask yourself again, is this something that I need? Or why am I holding on to it? And what I had to do in those instances was just chuck that stuff in the bin. Old receipts that I maybe didn't need. I was amazed at how much rubbish I was carrying around. And not only did my bag afterwards feel physically lighter, but it kind of like gave me a lighter vibe as well. It had only the things in there that I needed, that I loved, and that served me. So that's something else. And if you want to do this on a daily basis, you might try the bathroom thing on the Monday, maybe the bag thing on the Tuesday. Now the third thing, for those of you with cars, people often worry about how clean their car is from the outside and have their little creature comforts on the inside, especially if you travel a lot in your car. So the third thing is, go and sit in your car and just have a look around at, are there, wrappers in there? Is there apple core or banana skins? Or, are there things in your car that you don't need? And hopefully the Wi-Fi connection, sorry about that, the Wi-Fi connection just went a bit kind of dodgy and came back. So sit in your car, look around and have a look at, are there things that you no longer need? Do you have packs of tissues in your car that you don't need? Do you have, like, again, old receipts, pens? One of the things I used to do quite a lot was when I went to the fuel station, the gloves that you use to fuel, put diesel in, I would grab one of those and sometimes grab a spare one. And by the time I knew it, I had 3 or 4 in my bag that I didn't, in my car, sorry, that I didn't need. So go through, have a look through the pockets and things like that. Is there loose change? Do you want one place to keep your loose change? And just a tip about that. Apparently, cars can be broken into by opportunist people just to see, what changes in there. They don't want anything else. It could only be a couple of pounds or dollars. And do I want to carry that energy around with me in the car? I personally also had hundreds of pairs of shoes. Well, not hundreds, but quite a lot, significant lots of shoes in my car, just sitting there. And some of them I probably hadn't worn for a long time. So do I actually want those shoes? Could I give them away to somebody? Were they broken, you know? Were they favourite shoes that were worn? Do they need thrown away? Were they shoes I hadn't worn for a long time? Could somebody else love them and make good use of them? So just go through, look in your boot. You know, now we in the UK have to take shopping bags, you know, for the environment. How many shopping bags does one car need? Does one person need? So have a look through your car. So that might be something you do for Wednesday. And actually, as a result of doing this experiment and thinking like, you know, where do I want to be? Where do I want to go? I realised that I had a lot of emotional attachment to my car, which was from kind of like a former life, if you like, when I worked corporately, when I was a high-level manager. And the car really suited that image. It's very corporate, quite masculine car. So one of the emotional declutters that I did about the car, and I wrote about this, was this car doesn't serve me in the way I need. You know, I now live in London. I very rarely use it. When I hop in the car, I normally travel less than 2 or 3 miles. So I'd wanted to get myself a new car for a while, but I thought, you know what? I don't actually use the car at the moment. I'm always on the trains and the tubes, and I can make use of the buses. Do I actually need this? So as a result, and I'm not recommending this for you, but as a result for me, after clearing the space in the car, I actually decided that I could sell it. I no longer needed that car. It represented a part of my life that no longer served me. The important lesson here was the declutter of getting rid of that, letting go of that, because it meant in a way that every time I got into my car, emotionally and physically, I was attached to a life that I no longer lived, which meant that I was attached to the past. I was attached to things that used to be. And it's like spending your life like that, looking backwards, not looking forwards at your dreams, your plans, your possibilities, the things that you want to achieve. So the Wednesday tip is to go and declutter your car. And as I say, I ended up making the decision to let go of my car and sell my car. But that's not a decision that anyone can make for you. So the next thing to do, and you might want to swap the days around, is have a look at your desk, whether you're an employee, whether you work for yourself, whether you've got a home office, whether you share an office. Have a look at your immediate workspace. And, you know, I'm quite messy when I work. I have papers everywhere, but at least when I finish, I put them away. Do you have random pens on your desk? Do those pens work? How many times have you picked up a pen, scribbled, it hasn't worked, and you just put it back again? If it doesn't work, or it's, you know, it's run out of ink, throw it away. We get so used to hoarding things in our environment. Do we have post-it notes everywhere that we don't need? A good idea would be, if you don't need them there as a reminder anymore, take a photo of them and put them in a file somewhere electronically where you can go back to them and access them. I certainly, you know, as a trainer, had lots of post-it notes and various pieces around me. And what I found was that I often had post-it notes, and sometimes, you know how they can get kind of thrown in a bag or something like that, and they could be screwed up and scrunched up, and I certainly wouldn't be using them. I ripped those off, threw them away, actually put them in the recycling, so that every time I looked at my desk, I felt like the stuff on there wasn't broken, you know, it was usable, it was ready to go, it looked great. And, you know, sometimes there might be old books or things that you don't need. So have a look at your environment, have a look at your bookshelf. Are there books that were once loved by you that you could pass on to somebody else, that could be loved by them, or donate to somewhere, you know, your local doctor's surgery or dentist or waiting room or cafe or anywhere else like that? So that would be another thing to do. And if you're feeling really inspired or motivated, it might be the first place you start when you go to work today. And then one other thing that I did was clothes. And I have to say, this is a work in progress. And I just brought this to show you. So see this kind of little vest top. Now I've had this vest top, I reckon I've had it for over 10 years. So here's what you do. You go, start in either a wardrobe or a drawer, have a look at what you've got in there, and just hold it in your hand and ask yourself this question: do I love this item? If you find yourself saying, oh, it's okay, I'll wear it to do the gardening, and you end up saying that for 10 items, do you need all of those items? If it's something you're considering to wear when you decorate or do the garden, it means that you probably don't love it. So just hold it and have a look and say, do you love it? Now, the reason I brought this white vest top on was this was one of these things that I kept, and I'm going to be letting go of this as well. But this is one of the things I kept. Oh, I can wear it on holiday, or I can wear it in the summer. And I've got lots of clothes that I can wear on holiday and in the summer. And it wasn't necessarily that I didn't love it. It was that one of those things that I would look at and say, oh, I could wear that. Oh no, I'll save it for another time. And found that I hadn't worn it for a couple of years, yet it was filling a space in my drawer. Wouldn't it be nice if you could get to a point where you get rid of any clothes that you don't love, that are broken or torn or unmended, or even mend the ones that you love, where every time you go to wear something, and this includes things like underwear and, you know, old t-shirts and things like that, wouldn't it be great if you can open your wardrobe, open your drawers and go, I absolutely love this thing. You wear it, you feel brilliant. Anything that makes you feel less than brilliant, possibly you don't need, possibly it's time to let go of. Anything you've got in your wardrobe or your drawers where you kind of put it on and say, no, I'm not going to wear that today, and have been doing that for a long time, it's likely that you no longer need it. So I bundled a load of clothes up and took them to the charity shop. I've got some designer jeans and things. I thought, well, if they're denim collectors out there, you might want to buy them or something like that. So have a look at what really feeds you, what really juices you. And every day, just try one of these things and then write down the effect or the impact that it has. Have you got anything in your drawers, in your life, in your environment, in your space? Maybe you walk past it every day. It's something that's chipped or broken and you kind of ignored it for so long that it becomes part of your natural environment. I'd love to know how you get on with this, and feel free to post as you read this. Post and let me know what you do. So my suggestions of everything were maybe the bathroom cupboard, it could be your office space, it could be your car, it could be your bag, it could be your wardrobe or your drawers. That's 5 things to be going on for now, and remember to journal as you go through it. Let me know how you go on, you know, put comments below in the box under this video and let me know. And if you'd rather not put anything in such a public space, go over to the Visibility Vibes Tribe group, ask to join, and let me know in the post under there. So that's it for now. This has been a double time feature length of Monday Motivation. It really motivated me, and the far-reaching effects are very different. And I want to leave you with this point. If your life is filled up with lots of stuff, there's almost no room for new things to come into your life. And that's the whole point of this experiment. So I'd also like to know what's new and comes in for you as a result of doing this experiment. Let me know. Either pop comments in the post below or go over to Facebook and search for the Visibility Vibes Tribe and let me know in there. I look forward to hearing and seeing how you get on. Thank you so much for joining me for this extra feature-length version this morning. Thanks for joining me, Ian, and the other people that popped on. Bye for now.